very good evening and welcome to KBC Channel 1 Y254 channel, Radio Minto and Radio Taifa. It's Tuesday, the 20th day of June 2017. Welcome to the Frontline 2017, the gubernatorial edition right here on KBC Channel 1 and all our sister channels. As I did indicate earlier, we are coming to you live from KBC Channel 1, Y254 channel, Radio Minto and Radio Taifa right here. We would like to lay focus on Kisii County. That is our point of focus this evening, and just to appreciate a few things about this particular county. Of course, it is one of the 47 counties and it borders Nyamira County to the north. We've got Narok County too, is a neighbor to Kisii County. We've got Homa Bay and Migori counties. It's undoubtedly a 24-hour economy with a huge money circulation. I mean, literally, we're looking at 70% of the money circulation in Nyanza goes around in Kisii town or Kisii constituency. We've got quite a number of constituencies rather. We've got Bobasi, we've got Borabu, we've got Bomachoge, we've got North Kitutu Chache North, Kitutu Chache South, Nyaribari Chache, Nyaribari Masaba, and South Mugirango. In the last election, Kisii had 412,945 registered voters. According to IEBC statistics 2017, Kisii County has a total of 544,753 registered voter. The agricultural town is also is also home to the country's second largest open-air market in Western, that is Daraja Ambili, and with an estimated revenue of around 1 million weekly. So what are the issues in this particular county? Who exactly will get to bear the flag that will give Kisii County residents the proper leadership to get them to the next level? Of course, we've got aspirants who've joined us in studio to discuss their manifesto and, most importantly, the solutions they have to the issues affecting residents of Kisii County. You too can get a chance to participate in this conversation on air and online, and that's why I've got my colleague Bonnie Musambi, who is standing by in Radio Taifa studios, who will bring us up to speed on exactly how you can participate in tonight's debate. Over to you, Bonnie.
Asante Sami Njoroge. Na kupata vizuri, shukrani za dhati. Hapa ni katika studio ya KBC Radio Taifa, mtazamaji. Na hapa ndo nitakuwa nikipokea maoni yako kuhusiana na mjadala ambao unaendelea jioni ya leo. Na kama alivyosema Njoroge, ni kwamba leo tunaangazia siasa za kaunti ya Kisii. Tunao wageni ambao wanawania kiti cha ugavana katika kaunti hiyo. Kwa hivyo mjadala unapoendelea, ukiwa na maoni lolote la kusema kuhusiana na mjadala huu, swali, unaruhusiwa kupiga simu na pia kunitweet. Sasa naomba nikupatie contact zangu ili uweze kuwasiliana nami kwa njia inayostahili. Ukitaka kupiga simu hapa nilipo ni 0700 176699, yani 0700176699. Na kama unataka kunitweet, unanitweet kwa @KBC Channel 1, @KBC Radio Taifa na @Boni Musambi. Hashtag yetu leo ni The Frontline. The Frontline. Pia nitakuwa naangalia Facebook fan pages zetu mbalimbali ya KBC Channel 1, ya KBC Radio Taifa, maoni yako kuhusiana na mjadala jinsi unavyoendelea. Kwa hivyo kwa sasa, Sami, narejea kwako. Maneno yangu nanga rasmi.
Asante sana, Bonnie Musambi. You heard him right. Use those platforms to engage with us this evening. With pleasure, let me introduce my panelists this evening. I'd like to begin with my extreme left. We've got Albert Nyaundi, born in 1956 in Kisii County, is the former Ford People National Chairman and is the running mate of Chris Obure in the race for Kisii Jubilee Gubernatorial candidate on a Jubilee ticket. Welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you.
It is a pleasure to have you.
Yes.
I'll cross over to the gentleman seated right next to him. That is Samuel Nyamao. Now, he's the youngest Kisii County gubernatorial candidate, 25 years of age. He's worked with Kenya Commercial Bank for just 1.5 years. He has been a student leader at Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology. He's not quite new in politics. He had a similar attempt, but for a ward representative seat back in 2013, but he believes in 2017 he can go all the way up. Samuel Nyamao, welcome to the program.
Thank you so much for having me.
You are welcome. I'd like to introduce the next gentleman, and this is Honorable Manson Nyamwea Nyongo, born in 1950, Member of Parliament representing South Mugirango constituency in Kisii County, was once an assistant minister and is running on the Kenya National Congress a ticket. Welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you.
Such a pleasure to have you.
Pleasure to be
Last but not least, we've got Boniface Ombato, an architect by profession, worked for public works for 6 years, and he later joined or lectured at the University of Masinda Muliro, and he's running on a Maendeleo Chap Chap party ticket. Gentlemen, welcome to Frontline 2017.
Thank you so much.
Just to set a bit of ground rules, we shall be getting a question, and once I throw a question to you, you will have roughly 2 minutes to respond to it. So just go straight to the point. There are those questions which will be open to all of you. There are other questions that will be specific to each and every one of you. So feel free. Let's tell Kisii County how we shall address their issues. And I would like to begin right away with you, Albert.
Yes, so
Kindly share with us in 2 minutes your track record in the public service.
I would like to first of all correct you. I was born in 1958. Then I went through school, completed University of Nairobi in 1986. Then I joined the Ministry of Works as an architect. I graduated as an architect, joined the Ministry of Works and worked for about 4 years. Then went into a private company for which I worked for another 4 years. Then I set up Nyaundi Architects, and I have been running Nyaundi Architects up to date.
Yes.
With offices in Kenya and South Sudan. I also have I'm a partner in a firm in Dubai. But I entered politics in 2004 and stood for Bomachoge parliamentary seat, 2007. I was not successful. I also tried 2013. I also was not successful. Now I'm running mate for Kisii Gubernatorial race.
Right.
On Jubilee ticket.
Absolutely.
I'm backing Honorable Kisii Gubernatorial.
Absolutely. And for
Yes.
purposes of this discussion,
Yes.
the heart he will bear most is that of Kisii Gubernatorial. But
Yes.
still, we shall touch a little bit on Albert Nyaundi. Samuel, your
Yes.
track record, kindly.
My name is Samuel Nyamao, and as I'd already told you that I was a student leader in JKUAT. We had a colossal opportunity to serve our students back then, and we had a good opportunity which we celebrate to this day that we served our students. Then I joined KCB. I stayed for a stint of one and slightly less than a half years in KCB. Then yes, I've been into politics before. I have run twice for student leadership. I've lost once and I've won once. So yes, I've had a big opportunity to serve my people. Of course, we have had some small stints as leaders.
I'd like to cross over to you, Honorable Nyamwea, your track record.
Thank you very much. I want to correct the year I was born, 1959.
1959. We added a year to you.
No, many years. Okay, now to be quick,
Yes.
only my background. I'm an economist by training from University of Nairobi.
Right.
I'm a procurement specialist. I'm an accountant.
An accountant.
Yes.
And you're currently the Member of Parliament
I'm a member of Parliament for South Mugirango.
for South
I'm a
Mugirango.
founder of KEMA East Africa. We supply PPEs in the East Africa region,
Right.
having office in Uganda, Tanzania,
Exactly.
and here in Kenya.
Thank you.
And quickly, I've been active in politics. I participated in first Mali Party in 1992. I stood for election at the age of 32 when I was a very young man. I came in, won election in South Mugirango in 2010. I came in 3 by-election. 2013, I also contested. I won. Cut the long story short, I've been assistant minister
Yes.
in the last government.
Grand Coalition
The
government.
Grand Coalition.
Yes.
Now I'm the member of parliament for South Mugirango. And as we move on, we are going for election. This election which we face.
Yes.
And God willing, I'm going to be the winner, decided by the voters of Kisii land, especially when God will touch their hearts that I'm the right person who will help them and who will serve them.
Thank you
Who
so
will be
much.
the servant.
Umboto, we are on to you. Your track record, very briefly.
Maybe I also should start with your birth,
We
which
added
you
a
had
few
mentioned. I was born in the year 1979. I went through primary school to high school. I went to the University of Nairobi. I studied architecture, graduated in the year 2008. I started work in the private sector. I worked with 10 architects for 5 years. I worked in the Ministry of Public Works, deployed in the Ministry of Works headquarters for 1 year. I was redeployed in the county of Bungoma in the year 2013. In fact, before the county started working, I headed Bungoma County as the county architect.
Before it started working.
Before county started, so I have enough experience to do with
Right.
counties. Then after working for 5 years in the county, I've worked in the Masinde Muliro University as the university architect, and also I've done a bit of community work here and there.
Okay.
Thanks.
Samuel, I'd like to come to you with this question. In a minute, tell us why you believe there is a vacuum in the leadership of Kisii County, and why you'd like to fill it.
Thank you so much for that question. And I want to tell you for a fact that if you ask Kisii County, you should not ask that why do you think. There are very many people who think that there's a vacuum in leadership. You see, when we talk about leadership, you're talking about development of the lives of our people. We're talking about the betterment of the lives of our people. But now we are having a situation whereby the lives of our people are being put secondary or tertiary to, the primary objective, of the county government. So what I'm saying is, I promise to transform the lives of the people. The lacuna in leadership comes as there is great corruption in Kisii County, there is ineptitude, there is lopsided kind of employment, there is skewed development in Kisii County. So you see, some of those things are the things that show clearly that there is a lacuna or a hiatus in leadership in Kisii County.
Why would Dr. Kisii Gubernatorial and yourself be interested in going for this seat?
Having been born in that county, having grown up in that county, we know, as you rightfully introduced, that Kisii is a very rich agricultural region. Business-wise, Kisii is leading in Nyanza and in the western region. But unfortunately, we thought that devolution would better the lives of the people, would make the Kisii people feel that richness that is in the county. Unfortunately, 4.5 years down the line, the people are poorer. The roads are impassable. There's even Kisii town has no drinkable water. Hardly do you get water in the taps in Kisii. The sewer system in the town does not work. I mean, everything is in a mess in that place. And when you talk to the people, they wonder what devolution was all about. They even start thinking that they are better off without that devolution.
Okay.
So we are going in to make the people feel the richness that is in that county.
The richness.
Yeah, we want the people to feel it.
Right.
Yes.
I'd like to cross to you, Honorable Manson. You're a seasoned politician. You would have tried this in 2013. Anyone would wonder, why now?
This is the right time. That's why I'm coming in. I've been a member of parliament for South Mugirango. There are promises that made the people of South Mugirango when they elected me. I promised them that if they give me a chance to serve them, I'll get a tarmac road. There's a tarmac road in the constituency. I told them there would be power supply in the training centers and in primary school. That has been achieved. I told them I'll build the primary school and the secondary school. That has been achieved. I told them I will improve the roads so that they are motorable. So I had to do this to keep a promise for the people of South Mugirango, that if they give me a chance as a member of parliament, I've done the promise I told them. And I can say this without contradiction.
Right.
The promise I gave the people of South Mugirango, I will fulfill all of them. I told them that I would pay the school fees using the bursary funds. We give 10,000 per child. But we start from those who don't have parents completely. We come to single parents, then we come to other groups.
Right.
That is now, that's why now, after doing that, I'm now ready to stand. But let me tell you why I'm doing this. The first opportunity I want to tell the people of Kisii County, Kisii Town, let me start from Kisii Town. We have water running the rivers.
Yeah.
I will make sure if I get that chance, there will be water in Kisii Town. I will revive the water system. I will revive the sewage system we just scrapped in Kisii Town. But more important of all other points is to make sure that the farm at home gets water. Water is available in Kisii.
Exactly.
There is the Kisii is in hill place, is to pump water through the hills. And why do I say water? It will help the farmer who is keeping livestock to have water for his cows. Why do I say water? You can be able to keep fishing, because you cannot do fishing, you cannot do fish farming without water.
Without water.
Why do I say water?
In 15 seconds.
Yes.
Yes.
Because you need to understand why I'm saying water. Because water is key to the country. Even chicken rearing, you need water to do this. Finally, used for drinking and bathing. And given that we are endowed with those resources, it will given, and funds are there. Let me say this. The Kisii government county,
Yes.
every year they have allocation 375 million for water.
For water. Let me interject at that point. We're getting to the water issue in a bit, and all the aspirants will get to respond. What exactly stands out in your manifesto, Omboto?
My manifesto majorly, I'll say the philosophy of my manifesto is basically to empower people at all levels. And what I will want to focus on are both the youth, the women, and the rest of the people. And my area of focus will be looking at the potential of Kisii County, which is majorly on agriculture and livestock farming and the trade that the people of Kisii are good at.
Yeah.
And once I look at that, then I look at how I'll tap that potential, look for the issue of adding value to the goods that we make and also getting market for that. Then also, we look at the issue of trade. We see how we can educate our people on how to trade better and also empower them using some county funds to help them do business better.
To help them do better, business better. Before we get to the main issues of Kisii County,
Yes.
allow me, Albert, to pose this question to you now
Yes.
that you're representing Kisii Gubernatorial.
Yes.
He is the sitting senator.
Yes.
In the spirit of collective responsibility when it comes to leadership,
Yes.
to what extent has he worked with the sitting governor and the county government at large to deliver for the resident of Kisii?
Every time my boss, Kisii Gubernatorial, has an opportunity, he always pours out his frustration on the way the Kisii County government has worked in relation to the other offices that are supposed to work together. He is in the oversighting parliament of the Senate. But he always tells us that he tried very much to oversight Kisii County. Every time he went to Kisii to try and meet these people and put questions to them, they avoided him. At some point, he even collected, I guess, Honorable Nyamweya may concur. He got the MPs together and they went to the county government to try and meet the county leadership. They ran away and left the offices open. Every time questions of Kisii came to the county, he was so frustrated that at the end of the day, he decided, man, if this is the way that Kisii is going to be run, then I would rather go there and run myself, because he participated in forming that government as an ODM senator, candidate then.
Yeah.
And he feels very frustrated that the government he helped put in place in Kisii did not perform as they had promised in the manifesto. So he is out now to correct this mess. As he puts it, he wants to make his legacy.
Make his legacy.
His legacy is to correct the mess that that government has put in place.
Let's get on to the issues now and look at them one by one. And I'll begin with congestion. When you look at the traffic situation, especially with the major road, the main road from Kisii town to the junction near Marsh Park Hotel, there's just a lot of congestion of traffic around that area. What will your strategy be to decongest this particular area and the entire Kisii town? This
Absolutely.
is somewhat.
Even as I give my response, I'd like to...
And you have a minute to give that response.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. We are planning a robust plan to try and decongest Kisii County, as you've rightly put it. We want to make sure that the motorcycles are a big mess in Kisii County, but we are working with them to find a better route to which they will use, even as they ferry people around Kisii County. And again, we are planning to make sure that we have better paths and to widen the road network in Kisii County. And let me tell you something. Kisii County deserves honesty. Honesty will make Kisii County a better place. Let me tell you, for example, if we decided to change Kisii town, as you've called it, a congested town, we can do it. How can we do it? We can do it by putting on integrity. Integrity will ensure that we don't leave any shop that is around the road area to be still on the road area. That is the problem we are having in Kisii. We are having a very congested kind of town because we are having smaller routes that people are supposed to use and vehicles are supposed to use at the same time.
Too many borders even on the streets.
Absolutely.
Okay, we've got traders literally by the roadside, Nyamoya. What's your strategy on that?
Trajambiri question the market.
Yes.
It's a simple thing. To do a road from Nyamasaria, going through Kisii, it comes to Tarajawan. From St. Stephen, you do a road, went to Nyanjwa, all right, comes to town. The market day allow the people to trade. The motorists should be guided. They should not use that road.
Absolutely.
The problem we're having is simple logic. That do a road which diverts the vehicle. So you allow people to trade, create special stages where National Cereal Produce Board is. You create a stage there for traders to board vehicles. You create a stage there for vehicles. In equal measure, the other side of Nyanjo, you also create another center. You allow the traders to do their business. There will be no congestion when Oyongo is the governor of Kisii County. I have an answer to that problem. That's what I'll do.
That's
allow
what-
the traders to trade,
Yes.
but make sure you do diversion roads, you divert the roads. So that motorists who are living from Gori, all right, coming this side, they divert from St. Stephen. It's a small stretch, 2 kilometers. You have a tarmac. Then the other place, the people are living from Kisumu, you divert the road, all right? So that you give traffic room where they can pass. Meanwhile,
Yes.
you earn your revenue at the market.
And you're able to manage the situation. I'd like to come to you, Omboto. Underdevelopment of Darajambili, as much as it's earning the county an approximate 1 million per week.
It's more than that.
It's actually more than that, according to other estimates. But then again, it's underdeveloped. What strategy do you have to up the game for those who trade in this market?
I think the question my fellows have answered is quite professional. And I think I could also try to link it to what you are saying. You see, the whole problem of a town and the streets is a problem you can solve using urban planning and design. And that's why the attempt by my colleagues to solve that problem may not be the right way, because this is an area that requires professional advice. And that's a place you'll have to invite urban planners, architects, and the relevant engineers to deal with. And so I think the whole problem of the streets, the foundation, and the market itself is a problem that can be solved better by the urban planners and the relevant consultants. I think that way, with their professional input, we'll be able to sort that problem once and for all. Otherwise, if we don't give in to the idea of planning and professional advice, then we'll end up failing. So I think that's a question that we need to be given time and the right profession to be able to solve it.
To be able to tackle it once and for all.
You know, as a senior architect, they have answered very well. But you know, the issue of urban planning, Kisii, you know, the Kisii people live on the mountains, so to speak. Kisii area is very mountainous. Kisii town is literally on hills. So it would be very difficult to expand unless you promote satellite towns. The towns that are around that, the Kisii town, like Keumbu, Ogembo, Suneka, these satellite towns should be promoted so that trade is devolved. And then that town now can grow, just like Kampala. If you have been to Kampala, Kampala is literally devolved. You find every other region is specialized for a particular area. And then the roads in Kisii, you know, Kisii is an old town, 1908,
yes, when
the first Muzungu arrived in that place, when there were hardly any vehicles there. Now, the vehicles, you know, we are in a region where we are like, the region, the Luo land, that is Migori, Homa Bay, and the entire Luo, even Kisumu, passes through Kisii to Nairobi now. When the Narok Road got developed, right, Kisii just became a roadway. In 15 seconds. We should go for these bypasses, yes, that the MP has talked about. We remove all the vehicles that are passing through. We remove them from the town.
We remove them from
I think one thing I want to say, I fought for Rajambiri market.
Yeah.
What we need to do is to do, because that's where the traders get maximum returns. That's why every person who's doing business, the small trader, comes there because at the end of the day, they earn better returns. So I'll do a road from Nyamataro, connected to Taraja, Mocha, so that you could decongest that area. Then you set a special stage for traders to come and offload their luggage. The same thing from St. Stephen, it goes to Nyanjwa, then it comes up here to Kisii. Because I fought for Tarajambiri, it should be a bigger market when I'm the governor.
And better developed.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the issue of the economy. 70% of money circulation in Nyanza is in Kisii. In fact, at one point, there was a proposal to move Central Bank of Kenya Nyanza branch from Kisumu
to
Kisii. We need then to talk about the economy of this region and how well what each and every one of you will do to enhance the economy of Kisii so that it's able to translate into real gains for the locals. And I'd like to begin with you, Mboto. 1 minute.
I think for me, what we lack in Kisii is value addition. First of all, we have products. Once you have these products, then we need to find a way of adding value and also introducing ways of getting a proper market. Like we have a lot of bananas, we have a lot of coffee, we have a bit of tea, we have a lot of avocados. So if we look at all this and think of how we are going to add value and get a market for our products, then I think we are able to help our people. Then also on issue of trade, we need to empower our people. Most of them are not so rich, especially the small-scale traders will need to be empowered. The county needs to find a way of giving them some finances so that they can be able to do their business better.
Over to you, Aaron.
Thank you very much. The first thing I'll do, I'll partnership with Kenya Power to ensure there's no power blackout in Kisii, because it's the biggest problem where it's facing at the moment. Small centers, small homes, they are not getting power for almost more than a week. So as a governor, God willing, if people give me the chance, right, I'll ensure there is power supply constant. I'll partnership with Kenya Power.
Right.
Number two, I've talked about water to improve the productivity in agriculture farming. Finally, I'll do better roads for the county so that their produce, they're able to bring their produce to reach the market in time for them to sell.
We're taking a break in just a short. Very quickly, Samuel, what will you do?
You see, the biggest economic activity for the people of Kisii is agriculture and trade. That is those are the two biggest economic injections in Kisii County. Agriculture, we will make sure that we empower the farmers. That is the biggest problem. We are not empowering the farmers. We're not giving the farmers the right seedlings. We are not educating the farmers on good plants and technology that they can use to make sure that their produce is much better. Right. And by the way, on the trade, we're going to make sure that the small-scale traders are well within my county government. We're going to make sure that they are tax exempt. That is the point. We're going to exempt the mamambogas from paying tax in my county government.
From paying tax, county government. Albert, hold your response to this particular question. We will start with you. As soon as we return from the break, we're discussing Kisii County. Do you have a question? Get onto the platforms that we did indicate to you earlier. Welcome back to the Frontline Gubernatorial Debate. We're focusing on Kisii County, and before I continue engaging my panel this particular evening, I'd like to cross over to my colleague Bonnie Musambi. What are the viewers saying on the various platforms we did give them earlier as we began the show? Over to you, Bonnie, for feedback.
Asante Sam. Njoroge, tunafuatilia mjadala huu ambao unaendelea hapo kwenye runinga hapa Radio Taifa sana, na simu ni nyingi kweli kweli, na maoni mbalimbali pia yanazidi kutolewa na wasikilizaji wetu ambao wanategea kutoka kaunti ya Kisii. Kuna masuala mbalimbali, kwa hivyo nawaomba wageni wetu hapo waweze kuyaandika moja baada ya jingine. Kwanza kabisa, Joseph Nyamwea kutoka Kisii anauliza hao wawaniaji wa gavana, je, ni rahisi vipi kumshinda Governor James Ongwae? Hilo ni swali la kwanza ambalo linaulizwa hapa. Swali la pili ambalo linaulizwa na Johnson Nyabwari katika Twitter, anauliza anasema poverty is high in Kisii. What are your strategies? Yani bado kungali na umaskini katika kaunti ya Kisii licha ya rasilimali tumbi nzima. Je, mna mikakati gani nyinyi kama wawaniaji ugavana katika kaunti hiyo kuweza kukabiliana na umaskini? Kuna swali kupitia SMS line yetu ya hapa studio kutoka kwa Kesam Nyakundi ambaye anamuuliza mwaniaji huru independent candidate hapo bwana Samuel Nyamao, je, bwana we utapitia wapi Kisii na ni Jubilee na NASA? Hilo ni swali ambalo limeulizwa hapa na Sam Nyakundi kutoka Kisii. Pia kuna Caleb Okari kutoka Nyansiongo. Anasema swali langu ni kwa Chris Obure, mwakilishi wa Chris Obure. Je, umefanya nini kama senator ndio tuweze kukupa kazi kama governor? Hivyo ndo anauliza. Kuna masuala mengine ambayo yanagusiwa hapa ambayo nitakuwa nayataja baadaye, lakini naomba tushike simu mbili tatu tusikie na swali gani kuhusiana na siasa za kule Kisii. Halo, habari yako?
Mzuri sana.
Tunasema na nani kutoka wapi?
Unaongea bila shaka na Nyambere Saida kutoka Simpson Sobo Saram Club mwenyewe.
Naam, swali lako?
Swali langu nauliza huyo Samuel N. Nyamao.
Ndio.
Nataka nimwambie hivi, yenyewe huyo ni kijana sababu hata bila naongea. Lakini nataka ni kwanza kabisa kabla sijamuuliza swali. Nataka kumwambia aende mbele. Juu sasa vijana ndio tunataka waendelee tu kuhimiza injili ya uongozi hapa Kenya.
Na swali?
Yeye kama kijana ako na lengo gani ya kufanyia wananchi wa Kisii kaunti mzima?
Kazi gani unataka haswa? Kwa sababu kazi ni nyingi.
Kama vijana sasa.
Vijana, mpango wake kwa vijana wa Kisii. Asante, nimekupata. Halo, habari yako?
Halo.
Yes, habari yako?
Mzuri sana Mzambi.
Tunasema na nani kutoka wapi?
Mimi ni Zaplo, ni Masoka kutoka Keroka.
Keroka ndio Kisii ndio? Swali lako?
Swali langu ikiwa uongozi mtu yote atachukua uongozi Kisii hapa. Atasaidia watoto wetu hawa tumesomesha wanakaa nje bila kazi, wengi wanataa alau na umasikini, watafanya namna gani?
Naona hilo ni swali kuhusiana na vijana haswa, vijana kwa jumla, na pia kuna kazi part B kwa vijana. Kuna swali part B kuhusiana na kazi kwa vijana ambalo limeulizwa. Simu ya mwisho ndo nirudi kwa Njoroge. Hello, habari yako? Oh, pole sana, jaribu tena. Hello, habari yako?
Mimi ni Diko Kunyaoko Boni Msambi.
Diko Kunyaoko, habari ya Njoro Kisii.
Hapa Njoro SDA kuko salama salibini hapa Nalvari Masaba. Wacha mimi niko na swali katika hao wanaong'ang'ania hiyo kitu.
Ndio.
Unajua hapa Kisii County tumepakana na Transmara, tumepakana na Bomet, na hapa katika mpaka huko iko na insecurity. How far will they extend their volumetric efficiency to curb that issue? For example, walete mataa, wawete huko mabarabara mazuri, ili hata polisi wakikimbia wanakimbia haraka, hata ambulance inapeleka watu wale wameumia hospitali. Watafanyaje hiyo security, kwa sababu imeshinda huyu aliyekuwa hapo? Watafanyaje ili alafu tuwape kura?
Haya, asante kwa swali lako. Njoroge, kuna maswala matatu ambayo yamejitokeza hapa kwa njia ya simu. Swala la kwanza ni vijana kwa jumla watasaidiwa vipi? Swala la pili ni kazi kwa vijana, na swala la tatu ni swala la usalama. Kwa hivyo narudi kwako, wawaniaji wale waweze kutuambia hivyo, pamoja na maswala mengine ambayo niligusia awali. Kwako Sam.
Asante sana Boni Musambi, and indeed wanataka kura, watafanya vipi ili mpate hiyo kura? Before we even go on with the issues, the questions that are being raised therein, what has Senator Obura done as a senator that can earn him the right to be governor of Kisii?
The role of a senator, as per the constitution, is to oversight. It is to check what the county government is doing, and also send resources from the Senate to the county governments. Now he has done his role to send the resources down to the county government. As I told you earlier, he has tried to oversight Kisii County, but those guys are very elusive. But he has done well to pinpoint and tell the Kisiis, this is the money that has come here, and this is how it is being misused. At least he has informed the Kisii people how that money is being misused. As a senator, he is not a policeman. He will not go down there and arrest those guys. He has done his job. He has at least pinpointed the areas where those guys have failed. Right. So now he is coming in. He wants to go in and show the Kisii people what actually devolution would have done to them. What this failed 5 years, what the Kisiis would have tasted. He's going in to correct the mess those guys have created.
Nyambao,
yes.
Ni Jubilee na NASA utapitia wapi? Na hata ukipita, what will you do for the young people of Kisii? That's what they want to know.
First and foremost, I'd like to pity my brother because he's trying to protect an unprotectable senator. Because honestly, when the people give you an opportunity to go out there and lead them, then you come and say either he's frustrated or he told people. We want action. So we don't want him to come and tell us that we got 5 billion probably from the central government. That will not be what Kisii people want. Now, back to what I will do for the youth. Actually, we are planning, it is within the county government, to have youth polytechnics, where we are going to make sure that we are having a huge intake of the youth that are unemployed. Another problem we're having is drug and substance abuse. We are going to dedicate a budget to have a rehabilitation center to make sure that we are rehabilitating our young people. Another one, we're going to have loans for organized youth groups in Kisii. We are going to make sure that the youth are coming together as groups, and we're going to give them interest-free loans. I want you to underscore the word interest-free loans, so that the youth can, engage in good and proactive economic activities to ensure that they move themselves to the next level.
To the next level. What will you do to secure Kisii County and its borders?
Thank you very much. But before I answer that question, there's one issue I want to reply. I want to say if Ongwai is guilty or mismanaging the county, Obura is more guilty because it's the sponsor, it's the person who campaigned for Ongwai, and he told people, believe me, if you vote for this guy, all right, believe me, you'll do a good job. So if there's a problem we have in Kisii County, if Ongwai has messed, In that same way, Obure takes the brain. Coming to the issue of security. Security is a national issue. First and foremost, it's a national issue. The people provide security is the national government. But I will rise with the national government as the county chief to ensure that our borders are secure. I will ensure that intelligence network information is shared. The people are bringing this problem are brought to book. But more important, there's one thing I want to talk about the youth. The first thing I'll do is that, unfortunately, in our accounts, youths have not been considered for employment. We have got people who have retired who the current governor has taken on board. If I get the opportunity to be the governor, then the first people will go home so that the young people can get a chance to work in the county. I will give them preference, and the employment, every household will get a share of the jobs in Kisii County. I'll make sure there's equitable distribution of jobs, because that's really the issue we're having. And to bring the point home, the formation of the government, the employment which took place at the county government was done by two people, Ongwai and Obure.
Ongwai and Obure. I'd like to give you that a chance to respond to that, Albert, before I come to a
I think you're being unfair, because you are not giving me an opportunity to tell the Kisii people what Obure is going to do for them.
Here you go.
You are putting me on the defense, and you're giving my mates here an opportunity, because when they are outside, they are easy to throw stones. But when they get in there...
Let's give him an opportunity first.
Now, when they start saying it, the mess in Kisii County, Obure is equally guilty, that is wrong. Because I, for instance, helped put this fellow in his first parliament. When he first went to parliament, he was a 4th people member of parliament. We worked for him. I was in 4th people, and he became a member of parliament in South Mogrango. All that he did may not have been all rosy. So do you blame 4th people for having put this fellow in the office?
Say the truth. Did I do a good job?
It is for the people of South Mogrango to say.
That's why they gave me a chance. They gave me a chance.
It is for the people of South Mogrango to say.
And you're my neighbor. You can say the truth. I did a road which you passed.
Oh, my friend. I don't want to go into that.
Okay.
I don't want to attack him. There is a lot that I can attack him on. But it doesn't follow that because I was in 4th people and I worked for him to become a 4th people member of parliament, whatever he did wrong, I am to blame. Chris Obure has worked very hard in Kisii as a Senate. He has, at least, if you go to the Senate, he is one of the best contributors in that parliament. And he has done what a senator would do. He has participated in national issues and the issues pertaining to Kisii County.
Right.
Anything that has gone wrong in Kisii County, as the government, he was not the governor. He was not an MCA in Kisii County. He was just an overseer. Anything that has gone down there, that has gone wrong, cannot be pinpointed to Chris Obure. Now, Chris Obure is coming in now as the governor of Kisii County. He has told us, he has seen how prudent management of resources would have helped Kisii. He is coming to manage the prudent management of financial resources that are in Kisii. Kisii is a very rich region. We have very many, you know, the Kisiis, as I told you earlier, we live on the hills. A small tribe surrounded by big neighbors living perched on the hills. So as a result, Kisii have evolved as a very hard-working people. If you come to Nairobi here, almost every matatu is owned by Kisii.
Right.
If you go to Narok, almost every farm where wheat is grown, it is done by Kisii. We are going to encourage trade in Kisii. We are going to value add the products that we have in Kisii, such that the many educated people that are watchmen in Nairobi here will go back and get jobs in the factories that will create.
Hold that thought before I cross over to Oboto here. Are the residents of Kisii body convinced by our aspirants here at the responses they're giving?
All right, asante, nimekupata tena Samuel Njoroge, na maswala yanayoletwa hapa katika studio nilipo ni maswala tumbi nzima. Ama kwa hakika Kisii yote inasikiliza na kutazama The Frontline. Kuna maswala manne nimeona ni summarize, niweze kufupisha yale masuala ambayo yameletwa, kwa sababu SMS zimejaa, Twitter zimejaa, Facebook zimejaa. Kuna masuala mane ambayo hayajagusiwa. Swala la kwanza ambalo ningependa wawaniaji ugavana hapo wagusie ni swala la Kisii Stadium. Uwanja wa Kisii ambao bado uko vile vile miaka 5 hata baada ya Ongwae kuchukua mamlaka, ndivyo wengi wanavyosema. Pia kuna Kisii Soapstone. Kuna swali kuhusiana na hatua ambazo watachukua kuhusiana na Kisii Soapstone. Kuna swala la kiwanda cha sukari ambacho kiko katika eneo la Mugirango Kusini. Je, wana mikakati gani kuhusiana na kiwanda hicho? Pia kuna kiwanda cha avocado ambacho kinasemekana kwamba kiko chini bado licha ya uwekezaji wa hali ya juu kuwekwa katika kibanda kile. Wana mipango gani kuhusiana na hayo? Vile vile acha tusikie simu 2-3 kuhusiana na mazungumzo yetu 0700176699. Tunazungumzia siasa za Kisii. Umewasikiliza waoniaji ugavana. Je, una swali kwao? Na ni swali gani? Hello, habari yako?
Hello.
Yes, nasema na nani?
Nasema na Kevo kutoka Kisii.
Kisii bwana, una swali?
Nina swali.
Kwa nani ama kwa wote? Kwa mtu mmoja ama kwa wote?
Kwa governor. Kwa governor current.
Ndio swali lako?
Sasa nauliza huyo current governor. Ako saizi studio saizi pia yeye bado ako na wengine hapo ama?
Uliza swali lako tafadhali haraka kwa sababu ya muda.
Sasa bado anataka kuwa elected kama governor na hii soko ya daraja 2 ni soko kubwa sana hapa Kisii.
Ndio.
Sasa ana plan gani? Hata hakuna barabara ya kwenda sokoni, barabara zote zimeharibika. Ni hao watu tu hao wanachukua ushuru, ameandika watu wa kwao peke yao kazi, si hata hatuna kazi. Sasa atashughulikia maneno bado tu ni kuja akae aenda alete bado wazee kutoka huko kwa wapatie kazi na vijana wamekaa hapa wapo njaa.
Haya, swali zuri ambalo nadhani si la Ongwae peke yake bali pia wale ambao wako katika studio. Soko la daraja 2 mna mikakati gani? Barabara haipitiki na mambo kama hayo. Hello, habari yako?
Hello, habari yako mtangazaji?
Salama sana, nasema na nani?
Bila zako nasema na fundi wa vikapu wa Mitetei Center.
Ndio, swali lako?
Nikipenda Wakisii ndugu zangu wachague mtu wa kuchapa kazi, sio kulala kwa ofisi. Wa kuchapa kazi na wachague mtu mwaminifu na wafanye siasa ya amani. Mbarikiwe. Ni fundi wa vikapu wa Mitetei Center, mbarikiwe.
Okay, asante. Radio Taifa?
Mbona mzazi?
Nakupata kabisa.
Huyu sio mwingine, ni msemaji wa maskini.
Salamu ya jioni ni Mwakire ama ni kitu gani?
Inaitwa Waile. Hapa najua sasa wamejingiza kitu. Hata wacha ni kuwasalimie habari zenu hao wageni wamekuja hapo.
Wako salama?
Sasa swali ya kwanza na wauliza. Je, hao wakienda huko wataanza kuchulishia kula wenyewe ama wataanza kusema tunataka mchague rais fulani ama wataenda kusema juu ya maendeleo? Hao ndio ndauliza hiyo maswali. Iko pamoja.
Haya, wakati mnapotafuta kura zenu, mtatafuta kura kwa kuchambuana au ni kwa kuuza sera? Huyu ni mwananchi ambaye anajiita msemaji wa maskini ambaye anatoka sehemu za Kisii. Nafikiri kutoka kwangu sina la ziada hapa. Samuel Njoroge, labda wewe na wenzako hapo muweze kuchambua masuala haya ambayo yamejitokeza.
And let's come back and get right into the issue of Kisii Stadium, because it's an issue we need to address even before we bring this to a close. The issue with Kisii has gone on for a long time, the Kisii Stadium. In fact, it goes beyond Kisii. We've got a lot of untapped talent in Kisii when it comes to athletics. We've got uncelebrated heroes who contributed in athletics in this country. We no longer hear their names. I mean, talk of Nyantika Njoroge. He ran barefoot and won a medal for this country, the first ever. But we hardly ever hear those stories. What are your strategies when it comes to addressing these issues? Kisii Stadium and, of course, the Hall of Fame tapping into talent and specifically athletics. Patrick Lumumba, karibu sana.
Thank you very much.
Kidogo umechelewa lakini twashukuru umefika. And I'll be getting to you in just a short while. I'd like to begin with your motto. What will you do about Kisii Stadium?
With Kisii Stadium, I think so far what the governor has done is just to do a wall around the stadium. But I think we need to do more. We need to do the podium. We need also to look at tapping another potential of having, because it is a stadium that's surrounded by roads. We also need to look at how we can also introduce small kiosks around the stadium and also have many more facilities within. And I think that's work that should have been done in the past 5 years. But I think in my government, that would be my first priority, that I be able to have all the necessary facilities in that stadium so that we are able to encourage talent.
Right.
Yeah.
Over to you.
Thank you. The first thing I'll do, I'll arrest those who have actually eaten the money for building the stadium. It's economic sabotage. Yeah, it's economic sabotage. That's the first thing I'll do. Number two, I'll build at the sub-county levels stadiums. I'll give you an example of what I've done as a member of parliament. I've done a field for sports at Ndonyi, at Ayora, at Muma. This, I'm doing it using the little amount of CDF. But given a chance, I'll do the stadiums in every sub-county. The fields are there is to improve those fields and to encourage money. This money given for sports. I will ensure that the money for sports, culture and activities, the money reaches the person on the ground. That I will ensure it happens. But those who have looked at money building the stadium, will go to jail.
They will go to jail. Over to you, Samuel.
I think my opponents are confusing talent and sports. Those are two different things. Talent is much broader. Yeah, you see, okay, for Kisii Stadium, that is the embodiment. That is actually the best description of the current county government. Pilfering and stealing of public funds. Clearly, a stadium that has gotten over 100 million shillings is today, if you come there, you will laugh. I don't want you to laugh because it's crazy. I will tap other talents. Like, for example, we have singing. We will have cultural events where we have people celebrating their culture and coming up with the nice structures and singing. You know, we have very many talents. So we will come up with events where people will be exploiting their talents, and we will be tapping those talents. I want to assure you that in the first 1 year of my being governor, we are going to have the first person from Kisii playing for the great Chelsea.
you know, when we grew up, the first line of training was the primary schools. We will, as the governor of Kisii, we will encourage the tapping of talent from primary schools and building that talent to county level through the building of those stadia. And the frustration that has gone through the county by the Kisii people of that stadium in Kisii, what's happening there is actually a mess. That is, as they have put it, it is true. It is clear pilfering of resources. Whoever did it in Kisii town will be held to book. We will encourage people to come in there and tap the talent that is in Kisii. As you rightfully put it, we won the first 4x400 gold for Kisii, and we are very proud that those people are still alive, almost all of them. Dr. Uko is still there. Those are the people, as you put it, rightfully put it, we have forgotten.
Yes.
We should tap the talents of those people. Nyantika is still alive. We tap those talents and we ask them for advice before God takes them.
Patrick Lumumba, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
And you get an opportunity to respond on this issue of Kisii Stadium. What exactly will you do to have it up and running?
Thank you. Allow me to say, like many projects which Honorable Ngwai has undertaken in Kisii, all his projects are white elephants. They are all used to siphon money from the people. There is no single project, including Kisii Stadium, which has been completed. A stadium has been built for the last 4 years. Every year they put a budget which they siphon. When I become governor, Honorable Ongwae and his culprits will be in the cells, will be behind bar. They cannot steal people's money and expect people to celebrate. The Kisii Stadium was allocated some funds. Those funds are being used to build people's houses, people's homes, people's walls. The same vehicles which are building Kisii Stadium are the same vehicles which are delivering materials even to Honorable Ngwai's home. It is unfortunate. Allow me to say, God willing, if I became governor on the 8th of August, the first thing I'll do is first of all to arrest all those people, face the law, and then we start afresh. Secondly, my program of action,
yes.
I'm going to initiate in every ward a big stadium so that we can tap talents. In fact, in my manifesto, we have indicated that we are going to have an annual program on sports, on how to develop sports, on how to come up with various, people committed in sports. And we'll have competitions annually where we'll be giving out the Governor's Cup, the Governor's programs.
News is up and running on KBC Channel 1, but the discussion continues on Y254. It's just getting started and heated. So let's go back to our panelists this evening and look at the issue of agriculture. Let's begin with avocado factory. It was started in 2013. Today we are talking of a dysfunctional project. What will you do to revive it, Samuel Nyamao?
I think the avocado factory is again another facade. It's again another problem that we are having. You see, number one thing you need to realize is, ask yourself, do we have enough arable land that has avocado? That is the first $1 million question. And I can tell you for sure that avocados in Kisii are seasonal. So the point we need to do is fast, before even we start these big, grand things, projects, we need first to empower the farmer so that we have enough supply of avocado for that avocado factory. The point is this: if we don't have enough avocados, there is coming a time when we're going to be paying factory employees who are not being productive. So the point is this: I think they shot before they aimed. So the current governor shot before he aimed, because the point is this: you don't start with the factory, then go to the farmer. You start with the farmer, then you go to the factory. That is the point.
Right. No, I think my colleague here is wrong, because Kisii has so much avocado rotting. When you go to that Rajambili market, you find so much rotten avocado thrown all over the place. Avocado is a fruit that grows by itself in Kisii. I have personally developed a farm of avocados in Kisii. I grow about 2,000 trees. These are for export. But the avocado that I guess the county government was aiming at is not the kind that I'm growing. It is the avocado that is growing in the homes in Kisii that is rotting in the homes. That avocado is not seasonal. Every day you will find an avocado being eaten in Kisii, coming from the farms. Right. That is the one that the governor was aiming at to harvest and put in the factory. And in any case, when you do avocado factory, it is not per se to grind avocados like unga. It is to produce byproducts, right, which would encourage more industry, right, like making of soap, oils, and what have you. Avocado, if it is seasonal, as he said, you would harvest it, mint it, get the oil out of it, and keep it, and start making soap, start making oils out of it. But what has failed the people of Kisii, the county government has failed the people of Kisii, is not to make that project to fruition. They started it, and it ground to a halt the first year.
They started it ground to a halt the first year. Before I cross over to you, Honorable Banson, I'd like to come to you, Lumumba, on this very issue of the avocado factory.
Thank you. On my part, the avocado factory was nonsense. It was a project which was not supposed to be initiated. You must look at the market first. Where are you going to take the products from the avocado factory before even you build a factory? Who came up with a study that we need an avocado factory? Somebody cannot not just wake up and say we need an avocado factory because we have a lot of avocados. In my program, we want to put Kisii as a great basket. We will position Kisii as a county to feed the world. Go to Europe, there are no avocados. Instead of building a factory, put those avocados into baskets, into cartons, take them to where there are no avocados. The avocado factory cannot work, because how are you going to compete in the market? So on my part, we could have positioned the Kisii County as a food basket for the whole world. So that whatever we grow there, we can export it. And there are so many people in the world who want fruits, who wants food, who wants all these products. In my government, we'll be positioning Kisii, even the avocados, not having a factory, which could not make sense, but export those avocados to Europe, to Egypt, to Middle East and therefore make more money.
What my friend is saying, what he's saying.
Before I come to you,
yes.
and before I come to you, Mheshimiwa,
yes.
Anytime from now, we shall be bidding farewell to audiences who are watching us through KBC Channel 1, because we need to bring you up to speed with the day's news. However, the debate still continues on our sister channel Y254. So the debate continues on Y254, and on the other side, KBC Channel 1, we shall be having the news. So we continue with the debate. Over to you, Albert.
Yes.
Come to you.
What my friends are saying, what my friends are saying, yes. is like saying the stone we have in tobacco. We don't make what we make out of it. We harvest it, take it abroad, so that they can go and do whatever we did here. If we discovered if we discovered
the stone in tobacco is totally different from food.
I am growing avocados. You are not growing avocados.
You know my farm.
That is not enough. Yeah, so
do you know my farm? How do you know?
I gave him time to speak. I gave him time to speak. Did I know?
Listen, that's not what he's talking about.
Listen.
Yeah.
Lobomba.
He's comparing avocado and soapstone.
Listen.
Lobomba. Yes.
When he said,
before you continue,
yes,
we need to appreciate that Kenyans are watching us.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So our mode of engagement must be based on decorum and not interjecting when I haven't given any person
precisely. I was speaking.
You're only finished, then I cross.
I was speaking. Avocado, as we have put it, avocado is a fruit, and this fruit, the first product out of this fruit is oil. You get oil out of avocado, make oil for ladies and gentlemen to use, make soap out of it. So when someone says that there is no market for avocado, who first of all found out market for avocado, he is wrong. Number two, we are going to create employment in Kisii by value addition. We are not going to get our managu and take it abroad. We are not going to get our avocado and take it abroad. We are going to add value to our avocado so that we create employment, so that we can make more money, and then sell oil where? What do you mean? Sell soap where?
No.
You don't use soap in your house.
It's not the work of the government. A government cannot be doing this.
First and foremost, you know, the first thing is we must get the right variety of the avocado which we are going to farmers to do. We need to solve that problem out. Number two, we set up a factory for avocado, and I will do it, but the farmer must be assured of a price from this one to be paid, so that there's sustainable income. Because the issue we're having here, the farmer who grows the avocado is paid peanuts. So there was a price discouragement factor. So instead of taking the avocado to factory, they were taking it elsewhere in the market. So you must give price stability so that the farmer is assured how much is going to earn. Number three, the factory which comes in must be prepared to do byproduct, such that you get value addition until the West, you live on it, the West, which goes to the West. So the first issue is that let's get a correct factory to do this job. There is a market for avocado, and kids are very good farmers. The environment is correct. The agriculture officer should work in the field, tell the farmers, advising them the correct seedling, so that when it matures and it goes to market, the farmer is assured of the price. So it's neither there or there, but it's to come up with a clear structure policy on how to handle not only avocado,
yes,
all agriculture activities, because our agriculture officers at the moment are not working. Not only in avocado, even taking care of on what time to plant maize,
right,
which is our staple food.
Right.
There's nobody doing that.
Honorable Nyamoya just hold that thought, and at this particular moment, we've got to bring you up to speed with news. So we are heading you straight to our sister channel, our mother channel, KBC Channel 1, for the day's news. However, the debate, gubernatorial debate, still continues. We are on Y254 channel, so the issues are just getting started. Temperatures are getting raised, but don't you worry. We shall observe decorum right here, and that's what I think you'll accept. So, gentlemen, we need to continue. We need to continue with this conversation.
Don't you know me?
And earlier on, we were looking at the issue of avocado. Ogoto, I'm coming.
No, I've not finished.
You hadn't finished.
I didn't finish.
Yes.
Are we on?
Yes, we are.
So what I'm saying here is we have a challenge overall on the policy which the current government has put in place. You need to put a good policy to improve a lot of farming in Kisii. We have pineapple, we have avocado, we have soybeans,
yes,
we have maize. All those things, farmers need to know when we are harvesting our goods,
right,
where are they going?
Where are they going?
Yes.
Bonnie Musambi, over to you, even as we continue with this debate, Bonnie.
Asante Sami, naona moto umewaka. Moto umewaka hapo katika studio. Sijui kama utakuwa na maji baridi, maji ya friji kujaribu kupoesha kidogo. Lakini ndio hivyo, ndio vile mambo yalivyo. Lazima tuzungumze masuala yanayowahusu wananchi wa Kisii moja kwa moja kwa nguvu hivyo. Na kusema ukweli wa mambo. Naona hapa simu ni nyingi tu, jumbe ni nyingi tu, lakini watu wengi hawajaridhika bado kuhusiana na swala la kiwanda cha sukari cha Mugirango Kusini na vile ambavyo kitashughulikiwa. Kwa hivyo tutakaporejea kwako baadaye Sami, tutaomba tafadhali uzungumze na wageni wako kuhusiana na jambo hilo. Ningependa kusikia maoni ya watu wawili kuhusiana na mjadala vile umekuwa, ikiwa ni saa 3:01 tutachelewesha taarifa ya habari kidogo tu. Alafu tutaweza kumweka Franco Kundu Lusaka hewani. Je, wewe una swali gani ama maoni gani baada ya kusikiliza mjadala wa kaunti ya Kisii jioni ya leo katika The Frontline 2017 kwenye KBC Channel 1 na stesheni zetu za radio? Habari yako bwana? Swali gani ama maoni gani? Tafadhali punguza sauti. Radio Taifa.
Hello?
Yes, habari yako?
Nzuri sana. Nani? Bwana Musambi?
Yes, bwana. Nasema na nani?
Unaongea na Sakari Omandi.
Kutoka wapi Omandi?
Mimi ni kutoka upande wa Nyamira.
Umesikiliza mjadala ukaonaje?
Nimesikia mjadala mzuri sana. Na ile maoni yangu naweza kusema ni kwamba huyu mjamaa yetu anaitwa Lumumba amesema vizuri sana.
Kwamba
tunaelewana?
Kwamba
ya kwamba hii pesa ya wananchi ndio ingefaa sana itumike katika Kisii County. Lakini kwa saa hii ukifuatilia sana bwana Bon Musambi unakuta ya kwamba pesa ya wananchi hakuna. Sasa hiyo ukienda hiyo kiwanda wanaitisha ya avocado ingekuwa tayari imekuwa zamani, lakini kwa saa hii hakuna pesa ya wananchi.
Haya, asante kwa maoni yako. Mtazamaji na msikilizaji, mjadala huu kuhusiana na The Frontline unaendelea katika runinga yetu ya Y254, na ukipenda kuitazama runinga ya Y254, tafadhali bonyeza channel 824 katika Signet. 822 kunradhi, bonyeza channel 822 katika Signet, utapata runinga yetu ya Y254. Kwa hivyo utaendelea hapo na Sami Njoroge, lakini nami upande huu wa Radio Taifa nitakuacha mikononi mwa Franco tuletee taarifa ya habari, kisha baada ya hapo Hoka ataendelea na kipindi chake. Kutoka kwangu Boni Musambi, sina la ziada kutoka Radio Taifa, na kurusha moja kwa moja hadi kwa mtangazaji wetu wa habari Catherine Achenga katika studio yetu ya KBC Channel 1, na upande mwingine wa Y254 na kurusha kwa Sami Njoroge.
Sauti ya Kenya.
Asante sana Boni Musambi. Sasa tuendelee tu na mjadala wetu this evening, and the issue of avocado. There's a viewer who feels you haven't tackled that issue right. The strategies that are coming from you gentlemen are not satisfactory. We haven't heard what Omboto has to say. Maybe he has the key to this conversation. Take it away, Omboto.
I didn't know that the soft fruit will have this heated issue. We'll get this hot. But I think as potential governors, we need to look at this issue much more sensitively, in the sense that we are looking at the employment of the youth at stake. The employment of the youth is actually at stake, because it's not just the issue of avocado, it's the issue of many other products that we receive as Kisii. And so I think of paramount importance is that as governor, Kisii 2017 August onwards, my first priority is to look at how we're going to create employment for our youth. And the avocado industry, the banana industry, the sugarcane industry, the even the coffee industry, which of course at the moment is producing raw beans for export, should be looked at, so that at the end of the day, we are able to generate enough employment for our youth. Otherwise, we are saying that we cannot process the avocado, then we have a problem. The whole thing, I think, is to look at these things in two ways. We can have avocado that can be processed. We can as well have avocado that can be sold raw.
Raw.
You get?
Okay.
And then at the end of the day, we are able to satisfy our needs.
All right. Before I come to you, Lumumba, or even Nyaberi, before I come to you, I would like to engage you gentlemen. We need to move on from the avocado issue and still look at another issue around agriculture, and that is on tea. Bonuses in Kisii, generally across the years, have been low. A complaint that has come from Kisii residents, and they would like to understand what strategy you have to address this problem once and for all. Can I begin with you, Nyama?
I think that is a big problem that we have been having. Of course, we have been having not very competitive prices for our tea in Kisii County, but I believe that one is something that we will engage as a county government. We will engage to make sure that our tea, with the central government, of course, to make sure that our tea gets a competitive value for the tea that we produce. Actually, we produce one of the best tea in this Republic of Kenya.
That is true. One of the best teas.
One thing I want to say, a person like Obure, who has been in key positions for long, has nothing to do with tea. He could have helped the farmers. He has not helped them so far.
How does
for 40 years,
how
he
does
has not assisted them.
How does Obure come in?
He has not assisted the farmers.
What is
so
wrong
he
with this
cannot assist the farmers in any way. Okay? We need new blood to assist the farmers in tea, in all other crops. As governor, I will initiate clear programs on how the tea is pruned, the tea is taken care of, so that we get the quality tea that is good for the market. Having gotten the good tea for the market, then we'll be able to ensure that when the tea goes to the market, we have the value.
Have the value?
Yes.
What has Obure got to do with the tea?
What has Obure got to do with the tea? Let me tell you. Let me tell you.
Can you separate the two?
What has he done? He has been sleeping. What is he going to do?
It is very unfortunate that somebody wants to become governor because of the failures of another.
Absolutely. He agrees the other as failures.
Now let me tell you, we are discussing tea. We are not discussing Obure. We are discussing tea. The bonus, the question you ask is about bonus. Bonus is a summation of the action of growing tea, processing it, and selling it. Right from the farmer. The tea has to be picked at the right time and be picked from the farmer, from the buying center at the right time to the factory. At the factory, the tea has to be handled properly so as to get a good crop that will fetch good prices at the tea auction in Mombasa. Where the farmer in Kisii is losing is at the factory. The management of, excuse me.
Obure done all this long?
Excuse me. Obure does not run tea factories.
I want him to respond on that.
I'm responding to tea, not to Nyaberi.
Go ahead.
Nyaberi is frustrated. I don't know what Obure will do to him or what Obure did to him. Now, I was talking about tea factories. That the farmer loses the money, that bonus dies at the tea factory, the management of the factory. If the management is not right, you see, even that lorry that is going to pick the tea, you see, I don't say that it happens, but maybe even pilfering of diesel from that lorry, the tires being stolen from that lorry, the spare parts being stolen from that lorry will ultimately eat into the bonus of the farmer. So if proper management is done so that that lorry that picks the tea is handled well, the people who work inside the factory, they optimize the number of people and the productivity of those people, such that the cost of production of that tea is minimized, brought to the bare minimum. That's where the Kisii farmer is losing his money. Such that when the tea gets to Mombasa, the tea competes favorably with the rest of Kenya, but the cost of producing it in the factory was so high. That's why the farmer from Mount Kenya will get very high bonus, when the farmer in Kisii will get very low. Yes.
For 40 years.
Yes.
What's your response to this?
I think the answer we are having, the first issue we are having with our factories, they took loans to build the factories. So as we speak now, they are paying those loans. And when they pay those loans, they reduce the amount they earn per kilo. And if that happens, of course, they will get very little. So the first thing, and this is why I praise Obore to Brian, when he was the Minister for Agriculture, he should have sought authority to write off the loans of farmers' factories in Kisii. And if the loan had been written off, all right, and even I challenge the Jubilee government, because they have been written off for coffee and other crops. The Kisii, which work very hard, and they raise export earning. You know, when you export tea, they can't earn foreign exchange, all right? Just not shillings, dollars. So the first thing is that they should have written off the loans for our factories. The farmers would be benefiting like the farmers in Central Province. That's where the problem is. And I become governor, I will ensure I liaise with relevant ministries in the government of Kenya to ensure that these loans our farmers are paying, poor farmers are paying, is written off so that revenue, real revenue, can trickle down the farmer who tills on the shamba every day.
Every day. Before I bring you, Albert, I'd like to come to Omboto. What will you do to have a solution to this particular problem? Yeah. And also tell us,
I think primarily
will you create an enabling environment for KTDA to do its job?
Good. First of all, I think, and I think Nyamoya here also is part of the problem. As an MP and one of the MPs of Kisii County, they should have been able to solve that problem. And so if he comes here and says those loans should have been written off, I think he should have participated as a member of parliament.
But the method I participated.
But back to the question. Back to the question.
I'm answering a question with a system.
With a system.
Yeah, let him say a system I should have used to make sure it's written off.
The how?
Yes. You are a leader.
But you are
even an assistant minister. You introduce yourself.
You are saying Obora should have done it. He was a minister for agriculture.
It's Omboto's time.
A minister for agriculture. He was a minister for agriculture.
Okay, and a minister for finance, by the way. Minister for finance. Who writes off debts?
Let's allow Omboto to finish first.
This Obora is really anakukera.
He cannot be. He is not fit
for
to be governor.
I look at the issue beyond what we are talking about. That's also another element of market. I think as a county and as a county leadership, we need to find the best market for our product, which is tea. The moment you cannot get the right market, then we are not able to get the right prices for our farmers to benefit. So I think primarily we need to look at eliminating the agents and the brokers who are taking most of the profits. If you go to Mombasa, an average broker is a billionaire. When you go to Kisii, an average farmer is a pauper. So I think we need to address that problem so that at the end of the day, the farmer is the rich person, not the guy who is in the value system. Of course, there's something about the quality of coffee.
Tea.
We need, of tea rather. We need to find a way of getting the right variety for our farmers. I'm not saying that the variety we have is the worst. We have good tea at the moment. But we need to find a way of making our tea to be of the best quality.
Our tea to be of the
that
best.
Can also be something that the county government should be able to address. There's also an element of management. I think we have a problem with the management of our coffee industry, our tea industry in Kisii. We need to have the right managers who have the people at heart. That way, they'll know what the right thing is to do to be able to give the farmers the right prices. Thank you.
Thank you. We gotta move on from the issue of tea, gentlemen.
I had an issue. I had a point.
Just a minute. You'll get to weigh in on that as you respond to the water issue kindly, because we've got to address as many issues as we can when it comes to Kisii. We regard Kisii generally as God's bathroom. Why?
Absolutely.
is plenty of water, adequate rainfall. But then again, there is a very huge problem with water mismanagement. What are you going to do, Nyaberi, to cure this problem?
I want, first of all, to agree with you that the water problem in Kisii is a disaster. I have a house in Kisii. The water that comes to my pipe is dirty water. Water mixed with soil, mud water. I wonder whether that's the water which the governor drinks. I'm shocked. Whenever I go to Kisii, I have to buy water for drinking. It is a disaster. We have rivers, River Kucha, we have a lot of water. We don't miss water in Kisii, but Kisii is worse than any other place in Kenya where there is no water. For 4 years, the governor has been in office. He has done nothing.
What will you do?
On my part,
yes.
On the first day, I want to initiate a program which is multi-faced. We will be, first of all, come with a policy on how to ensure that we have enough water. Go to Nyariba and Masaba. People half of the year don't have water. They don't have drinking water. They go to the river. What I'm going to do, I'm going to segment areas in Kisii where we need to drill boreholes, where we need to have water pans, where we need to tap rainwater. It's unfortunate, Father, Honorable Ngwai, build around 40 boreholes. No geological survey. A half of those boreholes are dry. He used the 6 million per borehole, enough money to buy 1 rig. Can you imagine what Kisii people are going through? Stealing day in, day out. I want to assure you, when I become governor, and that's part of my manifesto, I'm going to invest in 11 rigs to deliver water in every constituency.
Right.
We are going to buy tanks which will be provided for free. We are going to ensure that every home, I want to finish, my brother.
Go ahead.
I want to ensure that every home by December, we have started drilling boreholes where we need, where we have done an hydrological survey. Through that hydrological survey, we will know what rigs we will need to buy, and we will be able to ensure that no lady in Kisii, no mother in Kisii, no girl in Kisii is going to carry water on his head. And I can tell you, there will be no mud water.
That's over to you.
Now, Kisii, as you've put it, is God's bathroom, because there is so much rain in that place. One thing we are going to do as the governor of Kisii is to reduce the gum trees that have been planted everywhere in the water catchment areas, and the streams, the little springs where people used to get drinking water, are drying up in Kisii. First of all, we are going to encourage the people to grow indigenous trees, so that around the water points, we grow indigenous trees, we remove the gum trees. Number 2,
right,
we are not going to dig boreholes helter-skelter. That will create a desert in Kisii. We are going to make use of the rivers that we have first, before we start drilling boreholes, because those boreholes will dry even the little springs that the people are getting water from. So we are going to encourage the harvesting of that rain that God has given the Kisii, harvesting of that rain, creation of small dams for irrigation, such that when it rains, the water does not drain to River Kucha and go to Lake Victoria.
Right.
And at least,
yes,
as like I have done in my home, harness the springs and take that clean water to the homes first before we even do the big,
exactly.
Yes.
Samuel, over to you.
I want to start by apologizing to Lumumba for having to drink bad water or having to buy water. I want to assure him that when I become governor, I will not have to go through such a bad experience. Which the Kisii people go through. But what is more fundamental is to look at the riparian land. As in, do we have trees there that are planted, that are siphoning the trees, because streams are drying up? I can give you an example for Nyancho area. We had a big, actually it was a river, now it's a stream, because people have planted trees or in the riparian land. So what I believe is we will catch that water, we'll make sure that we tap rainwater, because we are a county where rain rains each and every other time. So we'll catch that water, build dams for agriculture, and make sure that our people are going to reap the full benefits of devolution in terms of water.
I'm under pressure to wind up, but Honorable Nyamoya.
Thank you. You know, remember what I said first when I started?
First of all, yes.
Yes, I said I want to handle the issue of water in Kisii County. There's water already in Kisii County. What's lacking is management.
Absolutely.
There's total mismanagement and corruption of the system in water, which I want to give priority as a governor. And I think as we stand here, the current governor has no more authority to stand for the position, because he's staying in a town where there are rivers where water passes and people are on the river to collect water. So as I've said earlier, I will ensure, one, I do the repair and the maintenance of the water system which we have in Kisii County. I will partner with the Ministry of Water, because there's the issue of we have parastatals, and the water has been made regional levels. So I will make sure that I participate this. And while I'm not doing it, I will independently make sure the stream waters, what is available to homes. My promise, and it's in my manifesto, is that I want to make sure every 5 homes have got tapped water, not spring water, tapped water, because water is available. But I've said this, why do I insist on water? We have arable land, but the acreage is very small. We're encouraging zero grazing in Kisii County. So without water, you cannot keep a cow, all right? Without water, you cannot do fish farming. Without water, you cannot keep chicken. Yes. So water to me is one of the most important factors to accelerate economic growth in Kisii County. Because if you do that, you get better yield in milk. If you get better yield in meals, you build coolers in the area, milk will be collected, you set up a small factory in Kisii. So water really is everything
for the people in Kisii. And literally Nyaunde is murmuring, but we won't cross there. We will come here. Omoto, what do you have to say about this
I think for me, water in Kisii should not be.
He's giving you too much time.
In the sense that
no, even you.
First, we need to find a way of tapping rainwater. I think let's start with the basics. Let's be able first to tap the rainwater that is given naturally. Then from there, when we get to the towns, we need to get a better solution for the water in the town environments. We need to find the best way of getting that water to the people in the households. But also, there are also many homes. In fact, Kisii, as you know, is a highland. There are many homes that are actually on top of highlands. We need to find a way of getting water to those people who are on the highlands. And that can easily be through boreholes. It can also be through getting water from the nearby rivers.
Right.
I think that way, we'll be able to address that water in a way that you can be able to supply so many people in the county.
Gentlemen, we've got to bring this to a close. How unfortunate. We haven't even tackled the politics.
Yes.
We've settled all the issues. We haven't even
is the problem.
The politics.
Maybe another day.
And that's why we came
It
here.
happens to be from my place.
Oh yes, there was that question on sugar.
And also the
The sugar factory. Let me say this.
the NASA Jubilee thing.
Just a minute.
As a governor, it happened that the factory will be in my place. I ensure
South
Mugirango.
Yes.
And also the soapstone factory is in my place. I will ensure that those factories are set running in my first year in office. I will not do it because I come from South Mugirango, because it's a viable project which we will do to earn foreign exchange. Like when we do the factory, we will make cups for tea, which will be for export. Leave alone the issue of soapstone, because sometimes we look at the narrow aspect of it. And of course, when we build the sugar factory, we shall have byproduct for the sugar factory.
Yes.
My first year in office, to not be a promise, to be action.
Yes.
And I want to say,
there's a question.
for him.
There's a question that was asked.
On my part, my friend, we need factories in every sub-county.
That's it.
So we'll be doing not only in South.
There's a question that a viewer.
Everywhere.
There's
To you.
of course, I'm not louder than them. No, yes, they asked me to put katikati yao.
That was the question.
Let me tell you, that is the biggest fallacy in Kisii. In Kisii, people elect leaders. They don't elect people. That is why you have somebody having a bigger portrait of a presidential candidate than himself. You know why? It's because they want to sensationalize politics. They don't want to give us an opportunity to elect leadership. And that is what Kisii wants. Leadership.
It's over, gentlemen. Thank you so much for coming. We probably need 3 hours. Obure needed to tell us why he crossed over to Jubilee.
Yes.
Is it because of some
He also needs to answer this question. Why does he always need representation? Right from the Senate, even this debate.
Frontline 2017 today. My name is Samuel Njoroge, and we bring this session to a close.
I wish you could answer why they joined Jubilee.
And why does he always need representation? Hata alichagua mtu akapiga kura parliament.
They wanted to tell us. And whether I've got the goodies from Jubilee.